I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Ask is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
Hello everyone, that's a lot of people, but that's all right. So all of our clients usually start with this question is, how do I optimize 1,000 pages for SEO? Our bigger clients talk about the 10,000. And even bigger ones sometimes do how I can do it every month for every product that comes new to my site. If we go back a couple of years, baby one, first SEO task that I had to do was optimize, do some keyword research for a German auto retailer. I don't speak German, and my only auto knowledge is from Fast and Furious, so here we are. Armed with SEMrush and Google Sheets and Google Translate, I went to task. 600 keywords in, I was questioning my career choices and wondering if it's really for me. I'm glad I stuck around because fast forward about 9 months ago, our team has launched our automated keyword researcher where you can land 10,000 keywords for 10,000 pages at page level or relevant in any language you want. So I fixed what I hated before, and now we can do it for everybody else. So obviously you can do it with AI, that is the secret sauce there. But it's not magic. You don't need any magic wands. You don't need to go to a magic school to do it, despite what some people may claim. You need 3 things. A toolkit that you apply very deliberately, a good plan how for humans and AI to work, and a future-forward outlook, so because we know that it's changing very rapidly. And I have exactly 18 minutes to cover this. So that's a scary or exciting stat, depending on which side of it. As of last year, if you're not using AI for content, you are in minority. But having said that, there are pretty good reasons why people won't use it. So a very low chunk are unsure how to do it safely. Is it brand guidelines? There was loads of stories of people misusing AI and thinking it's facts when it was fiction. But more importantly, the larger chunk is just don't know how to get it to do what you want. And I'm sure plenty of people were very frustrated with ChatGPT. When you ask it to do a very basic thing, it just refuses to do it. Well, hopefully by the end of this talk, that 43% will be 0% in this particular group of people. So we'll start with Scale Toolkit. So everybody needs a toolkit, your screwdrivers, your hammers, and so on and so forth, especially if you've ever assembled an IKEA furniture. You need your basics. So you start with these, and it's almost a baseline for then getting more advanced. First things first is you need to give AI context. If it doesn't know what you want it to do, if it doesn't know where it is or what it's trying to move towards, it will improvise, it will create things, and most of the time it will be not what you want. So tell it exactly what you want, give it some context, why you want it, and where it should go. Second is personas. So AI is fantastic at role-playing. So if you provide it with what it should pretend to be, you'll get a different result and usually a better result. You can test it yourself. If you give it exactly the same prompt, but ask it to be an SEO expert or a travel blogger, you can compare how different even tone of voice will be or words it will use, even the length of text or the formatting they will use. Delimiters is a fancy word for breaks in your text. So a line break can go very far in your prompt. That way you help AI to understand where your structure is, where your prompt is kind of breaking into steps, and it will be better at just providing you a more structured output. Clear instructions sounds obvious, isn't that obvious once you're actually trying to do it. Make it step by step. go from point A to B, then to C, rather than try to make it do too many things at once. Just try it, guaranteed will be better results. And one of the things that at Ocular we apply quite well, and we call it North Star examples. You can torture yourself and AI for hours trying to explain what your brand's tone of voice is or what exactly you're trying it to do. You can skip that entirely and get much faster results by just giving it a few examples. 2, 3 examples is more than enough for it to actually compare to itself what you want. Second is there's loads of AI models, and how do you pick which one? All of them have, you can almost call them personalities. They have positives, they have negatives. Good news is you can run it as any other test we run, any content test. Same approach is very straightforward. You define the criteria of your test beforehand. What do you actually want to achieve? You set the parameters of the test. Do you want it to drive SEO? Do you want it to be quick? Do you want it to be cheap? And then you test the model. You can test it, different models between themselves. You can test it against people. You can test it against old content that you have. Whichever one works for you, it's a very straightforward test. There are many other examples, but for just to give you a few tangible ones, Claude we found is a good all-rounder. It's pretty good at writing medium to long-form text. It's not too flowery like GPT can be. GPT can divulge into car salesman territory very quickly. So we usually balance it out, although maybe that's something that you want. There's nothing wrong with selling cars. Speaking of GPT, for example, GPT Mini is very cheap and cheerful. So when we run tests, when we need to run our data pipeline and we need 10,000 products, we don't care what the actual output is, but we don't want to spend a fortune trying to run that test. Or if you're just playing around and testing these skills, that can be one of the ways. And then there's loads: Gemini, Llama, infamous DeepSeek. New AI models come out almost every week these days. Test which one works for you. So it really depends on what your applications are. I'm sure everyone who worked in an office had a fight over a thermostat. That's not what this is about. So you can actually control how creative most AI models are by adjusting the temperature, as it's called. So lower the temperature, kind of cool as a cucumber, is very precise, usually not creative at all. So if you need a specific task which is repeatable, consistent, that's what you use. We use it for keyword research. We use it for title generation because it's a very tight word space that you need to use. If you're doing emails, blog posts, kind of long-form content, you want to let it be more creative and kind of turn up that temperature. Keep it organized. So this is kind of more advanced play on the basics. A bad prompt will have multiple tasks in one bundle. Sometimes, check it yourself. If you won't be able to do that prompt, if you're given that task, then AI definitely won't do it. So a good prompt is breaking it down into specific tasks, sometimes in multiple prompts. Even better, just making them completely different tasks altogether. So instead of having one prompt that tries to do 5 things, have 5 prompts that all do one thing, but very, very well. As much as there are things to do, you will save more time by avoiding certain things to not do. And we speak from experience because we tested a lot of these things and learned on ourselves. So the first one is, and hopefully everyone have heard about hallucinating AI. A basic AI model is a baby in a suit, a boss baby, if you will. It has all of the certainty, none of the experience. So it will tell you complete nonsense in such a tone that it will be hard to argue with it, as if it's the most certain thing in the world. To avoid that, clean data is a must. If your data has errors, you can't blame AI for making errors down the line. Back to temperature control. If it's higher temperature, you are more prone to hallucinations. So if you keep getting them, toning it down will help. Introduce claim checks. So most AI models now, you can ask them to reason or double check themselves, or have a basic keyword detection for claims that you know that you need to maintain. For example, it can infer that your product is vegan just from materials, and it does it on its own if your temperature is high, but it's not actually vegan. So making sure that that's the case is very important. Certainty markers is very similar, but effectively get it to give you a range of how certain it is that its answer is correct, or if you're doing keyword research or SEO, how certain it is that it hit all of the keywords that you're using. No expert, no results. This might be controversial given that we're somewhere between AI will take our jobs and AI will make our jobs much better, but on practice, you have to teach it how to use the skills that you want it to apply at scale. When we were building our SEO enhancement, we interviewed a lot of SEO experts to effectively understand how they do it, what their process is, and try to replicate that and try to make it scalable rather than go the other way around and get AI to tell us how SEO works. Or with the clients that we work, brand guidelines are important. We get teams to let us know and audit that rather than trying to get AI to shoehorn it on the other way around. Garbage in, garbage out is 10,000 times more. In case you find that picture blurry, that's on purpose. So you can use AI, for example, generate alt tags from images or titles. When we ran the left-hand side image, which is blurry, you can barely see it, it came up with nonsense. It didn't recognize the brand. It came up with a brand. It came up with the fact that it's a marathon shoe. I think it even got some of the colors wrong. It was completely unusable, and if I published it, I'm pretty sure we will get into trouble for it. On the other hand, when it's a high-quality image, it can tell the brand. It could even infer which model of on shoe it is, which of the different kind of features it is, and it generated a title, a description, and a really nice alt tag for it that we still ran through SEO enhancement and claim checks just in case. You will see a lot of talking online or through previous talks about all of that AI-generated content that gets delisted because it's rubbish. That's part of the reason. If your data or if people are lazy and feed it rubbish inputs, they'll get rubbish outputs. And it's a waste of time, even if you manage to do 10,000 of those. So, it's still weird to call humans ourselves, but there we are. The good news is there is no content generation at scale without people in the loop. So we found that it works for pretty much any size of team in slightly different ways. We work with a range of clients of different sizes. For a small in-house team, these processes and applying AI at scale for content generation and SEO enhancement finally allows them to get through their own mile-long to-do list. So we do have clients who have 1 or 3 people on the content team who say they finally can see the end of their list to optimize all of their product pages. For large in-house teams, that 10x's the team, so they can replenish their content sooner. They can do seasonal refreshes, do a bit of a pre-Black Friday promotion, or simply drop their SLAs for publishing content from 2 weeks, 1 week to 1 day if they want to. And agencies, we have multiple clients who get us to work with agencies. So from the previous talk, that very much resonates. We're like, yes, we can definitely help you guys do the landing pages and the strategy and the branding. We'll do all of those kind of long-form pages that nobody has time to get to, like 100,000 product pages, for example. And what that is because it's purely incremental, everyone wins. Agency gets better results, client gets better results, everyone's happy. And there is a fairly infamous tweet at this point, which is, why does AI do art and write poetry while I have to do laundry and dishes? Well, if you scale your content creation, your version of laundry, which is copywriting, doing that really annoying time-consuming keyword research, can go down to almost nothing, just pure sense checks and doing a bit of guidance, which frees you up to do all the fun things like strategy, like innovation, like branding, coming up with new creative ways to apply these skills, rather than spending hours and hours of doing manual work that nobody likes doing. And last, but by no means least part of this is how do you future-proof yourself? So how do you make sure that remain humans in the loop, and how your organization can compete when others apply this? So first is agentic approach is happening, and the best way to apply it for content generation is specializing your AI modules into agents. So build a separate AI section that can use Claude, for example, because it's better at it, to do SEO research for you. Then have another one to be your copywriter that uses that information that's generated and compiled to create wonderful copy, and you can then fine tweak and teach it to do other things. And then you have your AI checker, and that way, because they're independent, they can't lie to themselves about it, because it's almost like 3 different entities checking themselves and working together. And of course, you go from your raw content to your website, and then you have your team overseeing the whole process. So if your copywriter stumbles, you can come in and fix the problem. If your researcher comes up with nonsense, it's much easier to manage if it's a pipeline, almost like a team. And secondly, this is only the beginning. So AI will only get more advanced. We will get better. It will hallucinate less, have more skills. But back to what a lot of talks here say is content has to be helpful. It has to be user-friendly. If it's not, it doesn't matter if a human writes it. If an AI writes it, it will not work. Use it to refresh regularly. So hopefully we'll move away from where websites have products that haven't been refreshed for 10 years or 8 years. Evergreen is a very beautiful word for it, but what it is boring and old. And last is track your performance, and it's a kind of two-sided coin. First of all, AI traffic, so from LLMs, from the search, AI search, is not actually attributed as search, it's referral links. So if you don't track it in your analytics now, you have no idea how much of it comes through. And if you expect Google Search Console to do it, maybe a couple of years. So do it yourself. And second, if you write AI content, don't take my word for it, test it. Do an A/B test, run 50 pages, 100 pages, see how it works. And obviously with time constraints and so on and so forth. Speaking of taking my word for it, so how do we know that it works? So at Ocula, we've been doing this for 9 to 6 months. So in the past 6 months, we've optimized 250,000 pages. We're on track to do 1 million by the end of this year. We've saved roughly 47 years so far of SEO, keyword research, of writing copy, of editing spelling mistakes. And we see, on average, 5 to 10% organic uplift. So not only you save years of time, you also get to get more traffic and more conversions, which is always a good thing. So in summary, apply AI systematically and intentionally. So you have to wield it with intent and with a plan. Otherwise, it will not work, and you'll probably waste more time or get your content delisted, which is even worse. Build agents. Get your little clusters of AI models to do one thing well, then pass it on to another one. Specialization is the way forward. And make sure that there are people in the loop. It's still not advanced enough for doing everything independently. And get ready, industry will change. And make sure that you are in that 51% that's probably already 60, 70% at this point. And make sure it's future-proof by design rather than by accident. I'm very efficient, we have 1 minute left. But keep in touch. Very easy LinkedIn. I'm glad I'm the only Slobodin event by LinkedIn, by it seems. And we are at a stand near Cloakroom if you want to chat to us more, and I'll hang out here as well.